The grand hearing room pulses with political tension. News cameras hum, journalists scribble. A full crowd watches, sensing a storm is brewing. At the center of the chaos stands Donald Trump, subpoenaed to appear before the House Committee on National Policy and Immigration Reform. He's smug, confident, dressed in a tailored blue suit with his signature red tie, smirking like the ringmaster of his own circus. Across the aisle, Rep. Jasmine Crockett, bold and composed, sits poised. In her chair, she's not just prepared, she's loaded like a political flamethrower, dressed in a striking emerald suit. Her steely gaze is locked on Trump. Chairwoman OS, Mr. Trump, you may continue with your remarks. Trump adjusts the mic and leans in. Trump immigration. Look, I've been the toughest president on immigration. I built the wall, I stopped the caravans, I protected America while people like Congresswoman Crockett sat back and tweeted hashtags. Crowd murmurs Trump contered. Let's be honest. Jasmine Crockett wouldn't know immigration policy if it flew in on a visa and sat in her lap. She's more concerned with feelings than facts. That's the problem with Democrats, all emotion, no solution, he chuckles. His allies laugh. Closing parenthesis, Trump, content, and by the way, I don't take lectures from someone who probably thinks ice is a new Starbucks drink. Snarky laughter erupts from his corner. Jasmine doesn't flinch. Instead, she calmly reaches into her folder and flips to a highlighted page. She presses her mic. Jasmine CROCKTMI star Trump ... You just made a grave mistake. Silence hushes the room. Jasmine contered. You called me out on immigration, but let's be very clear, I didn't just tweet. I sued ICE, I fought for DACA in court, I protected families you tore apart, and unlike you, I read every line of the Immigration and Nationality Act, twice. He didn't expect this, Jasmine contered, but since we're talking about immigration, let's talk about your legacy, not the wall, not the rallies, the actual numbers. She holds up a printed graph. It shows a spike in child detentions. From 2017 to 2020, Jasmine contered, this is your legacy. 545 children whose parents you lost, and you called that security. Camera flashes. Trump twitches. Closing parenthesis, Jasmine contered, you mocked me for caring about feelings. But you locked up feelings in cages. You treated asylum like a criminal act. You separated babies from mothers and called it tough love. She taps her desk. Jasmine contered, but let's go deeper. Let's deport the illusion of your greatness. The audience stiffens. Trump tries to interject, but Jasmine raises her voice slightly. Jasmine Conte once said, and I quote, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists. That was your day one announcement in 2015, and you never walked it back. You built a campaign and a presidency on the backs of fear and stereotypes. Trump, that's not what I Jasmine ignoring him, but here's what's wild. While you vilified immigrants, you hired them at over 170 undocumented workers, according to a report by the New York Times. You didn't deport them, you gave them uniforms and minimum wage. Crowd gasps. Trump's face tightens. Jasmine contered, so while you were signing executive orders, you were signing paychecks to the very people you demonized. You weaponized immigration for applause, then exploited it for profit. Trump defensive, that's a lie. I didn't know they were. Jasmine, you didn't know. You were the most informed man in the world. Remember, you boasted about intelligence briefings and global insights, but you couldn't know who cleaned your toilets. Silence. Trump's mouth closes. Jasmine contered, let's talk about MLRNIA. Opening parenthesis snap. Closing parenthesis Trump, leave my wife out of this. Jasmine firm, then you leave immigrants out of your insults, because your wife Melania came here on an EB-1 visa, also called the Einstein visa, reserved for individuals with extraordinary ability. She pauses for effect. Jasmine contered, you know who didn't qualify for that? Nobel Prize winners, cancer researchers. And yet, Melania's modeling portfolio apparently did. The room titters nervously. Trump's eyes narrow. Jasmine contered, I'm not shaming her immigration journey. I'm highlighting your hypocrisy. You benefited from the very system you called broken. Trump, this is personal. Jasmine calmly, no, Mr. Trump, this is policy. The personal is only painful when it exposes the political. Cameras zoom in. Journalists lean forward. Jasmine contered, so you want to mock me? You want to clown me on immigration? She stands up slowly. Jasmine can't, then let me send something back your way. A little political deportation. She holds up a second document. Contered, this is your 2020 Homeland Security Inspector General Report. Page 82. Quote, the Trump administration, knowingly withheld information about family separations for public relations purposes. She slaps it down. Closing parenthesis. Jasmine Conti tried to deport people, but today, I deport your legacy. Trump quietly. What are you talking about, Simeon? You thought legacy was speeches and rallies, but history doesn't remember chance. It remembers damage. And your immigration record is a textbook of cruelty. The room is breathless. Jasmine countered. You didn't build a wall. You built a wound. One that bleeds in border towns and detention centers. One that echoes in courtrooms, foster homes, and unmarked graves. Silence hangs. Jasmine Conti mocked me for defending the voiceless. But I'm not here for applause. I'm here for accountability. She sits down. Closing parenthesis. Jasmine countered, and in just 47 seconds. Your illusion of leadership was deported back to the realm of failed men who ruled with fear. Crowd murmurs, some clap. Silently, chairwoman bangs gavel. Chairwoman order. Order. Trump shaken. She's attacking the presidency. Jasmine, no, Mr. Trump. I'm attacking the pretense, and the pretense is over. Cameras click like gunfire. CNN panel room. Later that night a panel of pundits is frozen in shock. The footage of Jasmine's takedown loops on screen. CNN host in one of the most explosive confrontations on Capitol Hill. Representative Jasmine Crockett dismantled Donald Trump's immigration rhetoric with a fury we haven't seen since Watergate. Hearings. Guest panelist. It wasn't just fiery, it was fact-based, prosecutorial. She walked him right into a mirror and made him watch the truth. Second panelist. Trump came with slogans. She came with receipts. Int. Fox News segment simultaneously as to agitated look. I don't like what she said, but even I have to admit, Trump looked caught off guard, and this hearing, it's far from over. Int. Jasmine's office, NIGHT. Jasmine sits alone now. The chaos has faded. She exhales, quietly flipping through documents. Her phone buzzes. A message lights up. Greater than you. Deported his legacy. Thank you. Maria C., El Paso. She smiles faintly. Not out of pride, but out of justice. She looks at the American flag through the window. Jasmine softly. That's what real patriotism looks like. Fade out. Text on screen. 3 weeks later, Congress passed the Family Reunification Act of 2025. With bipartisan support, Jasmine Crockett was nominated for the John F. Kennedy Profile in Courage Award.